a U.S. military involvement play out if, in fact, it happens? How risky would that be? Let's dig a little bit deeper with CNN military analyst, retired Lieutenant General Mark Hertling. General, you spent a lot of time in Iraq. What's your sense? U.S. airstrikes, humanitarian airdrops. This is a disaster that's unfolding, and the central Iraqi government is MIA, missing in action.
Well, Wolf, first of all, geography is important when we're talking about this crisis. Sinjar, which is to the west of Mosul, people keep talking about the mountains near Sinjar. It isn't really a mountain, it's a rocky hill, and it is surrounded by ISIS territory. What the Yazidis have done, one of many cultural religious groups, they've left their towns and gone to the top of the mountains. They are surrounded. This is Bastogne, if you revert back to World War II history. It is going to be very difficult to support them with equipment, with food, because you just can't drop it on the top of a rocky mountain that's surrounded by ISIS fighters. They have gone there for refuge. When you look at the other side, more to the west, you're talking about the advances of ISIS into the Kurdish region. I'm more confident in the Peshmerga in terms of holding and defending places like Erbil and Dahuk, but still, ISIS certainly has gained a whole bunch of military capability in the last several weeks as we've been watching Hamas and Israel and the Ukrainian issue. So this is a crisis. It certainly is. And I think airstrikes probably has been bantered around quite a bit in Washington, but I'm sure General Dempsey has offered quite a few options beyond airstrikes to the president. And we're going to see probably real soon what some of those options might be.
Well, what besides airstrikes, the president has ruled out boots on the ground forces. As far as saving the lives of hundreds of thousands of Iraqi Christians, Yazidis, other minorities, Shiites who are endangered by these ISIS terrorists right now, who are well armed. They got a lot of U.S. weaponry that they stole from the Iraqi military, weaponry the U.S. military left behind. What else can the U.S. do if there's going to be no boots on the ground and you say airstrikes have limited capability?
Well, I think airstrikes by themselves have limited capabilities in this area. But I think certainly the reinforcement of the Peshmerga would be an option. They seem to be increasingly outgunned by some of the equipment that's been taken from the Iraqi army, as you reported. But I think the Peshmerga are terrific fighters. They will stand and defend and, in fact, advance into these areas if given the right equipment. They have supported Yazidis in the past. They have supported the Turkmen, the Chaldeans, the Assyrians, all the religious groups up there. The Kurdish government has been very good in this regard, but I think, frankly, right now they've been fighting so hard for the last several months against ISIS that they're running out of equipment and resupply. And that's certainly probably one of the options General Dempsey has provided the president.
Yeah, the Kurdish Peshmerga, they're great fighters. Unfortunately, they are very lightly armed. They have not been armed with sophisticated weaponry, in part because the Turks don't like the Kurds very much, and Turkey is a NATO ally, so this gets a little bit complicated. General Hertling, I want you to stand by because this is a critical moment right now. Should the U.S. intervene to help these hundreds of thousands of Iraqi refugees, so many of them Christians, other minorities? Should the U.S. deal